Hi Positive Readers, it's Vincent here, Positive Writer, and today we're going to be doing another movie review, and this time it's a movie review for the long-awaited Darkest Minds movie. This came out earlier this month. It was like August 3rd, and I wanted to see it that weekend, but stuff was going on, so I didn't get to see it until last weekend, and it was slap. It was so good, and I hate that a lot of people haven't gone to see it because Fox thinks it's okay to not distribute correctly. Whatever. I loved it. It was a beautiful adaptation. I think it was adapted beautifully. Okay, it was perfect. So I'm just going to be talking about my stuff that I enjoyed because the movie was great. So the first thing that I said was, I thought it was night when they met up, when everybody met up with each other, like when Ruby and all the other people met. Like, I thought it was nighttime. I envisioned it to be nighttime, but it was daytime in the movie. So I don't know, maybe it was just my fault for thinking it was nighttime, but I was like, why is it daytime? Whatever. And then, obviously, my favorite character, Chubbs. He's hilarious. He was hilarious in the book and even more hilarious in the movie. He made the whole film, like, he was just so funny. I swear to God, like, everything he said was just hilarious. And it just was. And they did it perfectly. The actor did it perfectly. Whoever casted those people, like, casted completely perfectly. I was screaming at Ruby the whole movie because it was just like, why do you want to go to East River? Why are you this? Why are you this? It was just insane. But can we talk about the beginning scene with the orange that, like, made the guard kill herself? I was screaming. Like, I was like, oh my God, how they did it was absolute perfection. And the second they were in the car, her and Kate were in the car, and the second I heard Clancy on the radio like start talking, like it was like his promo or whatever for all the kids, it was just, I just laughed. It was just so funny. I was just like, oh, that rat I can't stand. It was just tragic, but it was funny. And I didn't know what people were talking about, because every time somebody talks about Ruby and Liam, they talk about the sock scene, and I'm like, what is this? Because I didn't reread the book like a lot of people did, so I was like, what is this? So basically the scene was they were at a motel because they were trying to like crash for the night. Everybody was like crashing, and she was taking a shower or whatever, and then she obviously like didn't have like much clothes because they gave her clothes. Kate and them like gave her clothes, but so she didn't have like any socks or whatever. So Liam came to the door and was like, "Not," and then she opened it and he was like, you know, here's some socks, you know, so your feet won't get cold or something." And she was like, "Do I really need them?" Like, she basically was just like beating her on the bush, like, "No, thank you." And then Chubbs was just like, take the socks so he can like be put out of misery, because he was like trying to be nice, like he liked her low key. So she took them, and it was nice. It was fine. And then like had the other scene after that with the dress, and then like Zoo gave her the dress, and it was just really, really cute. I think they played like one of their songs of that scene in the book, but they didn't, and I'm just triggered. It's fine, it's fine. So then they go to the mall after they leave the motel. They go to this mall because they have to get supplies and stuff because they're going to East River. And I was screaming at everybody like, East River is not what you think it is. It's not paradise. It's not this, but it's fine. It's fine. It's so horrible knowing the fate of characters. Anyway, so they go to the mall and it's really cute, and they all start like, they were all, before they get like caught by the other kids that are there too, they start like riding around on like the bicycles and stuff and shopping. It was just the cutest little scene. And then Chubbs and Liam were like playing ball. It was just adorable. Like, I just love the movie and the cast, and everybody is just beautiful. And it was the cutest absolute scene when everybody was like asleep and they were trying to figure out what EDO meant. And then Chubbs and Ruby went over to like a radio or something and were trying to figure out, and then they found it. They were just like, oh my God, you found it. And she was like, you can call me, and he was like, you can call me Chubbs, because he said she couldn't call him that because she hadn't earned it or whatever. They're adorable. So anything Clancy said, I was just like, stop lying, stop lying, stop like, because they went to East River after this mall scene, and I was just like, shut up. And how I imagine stuff, it was exactly the same in the movie. I swear to God, like his room, like Clancy's like office or whatever, was exactly how I imagined it to be in the book, and it was just crazy seeing that they actually adapted it like from my mind. I love the people who created this, but I hate them too because they don't distribute it enough and people don't know about it and don't watch it, and it's depression because I need the next one and the next one. I just love this series, trilogy, whatever, and they deserve more recommendations. Then we had the whole East River nonsense where they go and then he gets into her mind and stuff and she figures out he's a rat and they try and leave, and that was completely how I imagined it. I was feeling the exact same things. I was screaming and like, oh my God, this is tragic. And then they're about to leave or whatever, and then they get caught, and that was how I imagined it too, and it was just so tragic. And then they run outside or whatever because they get out of the little room they were in, and then they release these Reds on them because he's working with the government. We all know he's working with the government to round up all the kids and get them back to camps. So the people come, and then they have their planes and their people, and so it turns out this army of Reds, I forgot what it was called. I think it was like called the Omega Project or something we learned about in the next book. But then they had the Reds all come out, and they start like breathing fire. It was just insane. I was just like, oh my god. And then I was waiting for the scene where Chubbs gets shot by like somebody's parent or something, but instead they made him get shot in the battle thing with the fire and the Reds and stuff. But it was just so cool, that little scene where Ruby and Clancy were like going at it, like they were like mind peopling people, and then like he made them shoot each other. It was just tragic. And then she brought the plane down on him. She was like, what did she say? I think I'm sorry. I think I'm glad the way I am. And then she like, it was just hilarious, and he just like flew into like it was just so funny. And then they all get out or whatever, and Ruby and Chubbs are sitting against a tree because he's like dying from the shot wound, and I was just like, I remember crying about this. And then Liam runs over there, and the Children's League grabs them, and I'm like, I know what's coming. I know what's coming. Am I gonna cry? Am I gonna cry? Like, I remember sobbing from this. I remember it. So I was like, am I going to cry? So they went to the Children's League. Chubbs is in the hospital. Everything's fine. She's in there, and then she's like, I can't. Liam has to go. I will not allow that being of a human to be here with all this killing. He'll be destroyed or whatever. So she goes, his room, and then it's the whole scene with the story, and then she makes him forget, and I was just like, oh my god. I didn't cry again, which is, I guess it's good, because I mean, I don't like crying, but it was still very sad, and it was exactly how I imagined it. They were in the room, and he was sitting on the bed, and then she was like, okay, close your eyes. It was just, I was going to shoot myself. Like, I was so sad. It was just like, my heart literally hurt. Like, but I didn't cry. So it was fine. And then, right after this scene, Kate comes in and gives him the backpack, and he like leaves, and he's just kind of looking, and then he like runs away or whatever. And then they decided to play a song for my Kaolina playlist, aka Kale and Selena from the Throne of the Glass series. They decided to play a song from that playlist at the end of this movie, and I was just like, why? I'm just being attacked on all accounts. And she was like narrating, Ruby was narrating, talking about like, yes, and I'm gonna do it for them, for her, and for him. And I was just like, oh my god, it was just so lit how they ended the movie. Was just so great. I loved it. It was just beautiful, and I just need Never Fade, and people need to go watch this movie, because if I don't get a Never Fade movie, I'm going to be bitter forever, because it's what it deserves. I love the series, and it deserves more recognition, okay? So I love you all. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. I hope you go watch the film. Please do it. Please go. Because Fox needs to see that people love this film, and that they need to make another one, because the cast is great, the director is great, everything is great, and I need more of it. So I love you all. I'll see you later with another video.